Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Matt Stevens here for another very special Tour de France We Love Cycling video podcast. And this one is with none other than Benjamin Girmay of Intermarché Wanty. Now, Benjamin talks to me about his inspiration, his love of the Tour de France, how he first heard about the Tour de France back in Eritrea, and what it was like to ultimately ride the race itself. This is really inspirational stuff. Enjoy. Fantastic. Benjamin, firstly, thank you very much for joining us on We Love Cycling. This is going to be a Tour de France special podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be special, I think. As I always love to race through France, especially when you cross the finish. You always see we love cycling. It's from Skoda, so yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Now, firstly, I need to congratulate you on a win yesterday in Belgium.
Thanks, man.
After your disappointment in the Giro, must be
Yeah,
good to be back in good form and winning again.
absolutely. Yeah, it was a nice comeback after the Giro with bad luck. I really disappointed, but yeah, now it's come back with the winning. It's always nice. So yeah, I'm really looking forward for the next season now.
Fantastic. So we're going to focus on the Tour de France. Okay. So Benjamin, can you take me back in time in your
Okay.
mind, okay, to your earliest memory of the Tour de France as a young man? What's your earliest memory of the Tour?
Yeah, it just was special, just like a dream. It's really special. Like yeah, I start following Tour de France. I can't remember, like really young, I think, like with my parents, because yeah, they are really big fan of Tour de France, especially my father. And yeah, I can remember the first time I watched Tour de France. Maybe I was like 4 or 5 years at
Okay.
that time.
And
And do you hear me, Matt?
yes, I can, mate. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay. Don't worry. I can hear you. Oh, you've gone again.
Hello.
That's it. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember exactly which year is the first time I watched, because I was like 4 or 5 years old. And then, yeah, but the first thing I really realized about Tour de France was, yeah, 2011, 12, when the time Sagan won, and then have a yeah, fantastic celebration, just like flying and running. Yeah, it was really good inspiration for me, from that year was like special. Also winning Bradley Wiggins and Chris Froome, and yeah, was really nice time uh, to have this memory. I was also really happy to remember always this kind of memory, and then now to be part of Tour de France, it's always pleasure for me to race in Tour de France.
So when you were watching as a small boy the Tour in those days, did you ever think that you would be a professional? Did you ever believe that you could be at the Tour at this age, or was it just a dream?
No, at that time was just a dream, because at that time I just started cycling when I was 12 years old, 2012. Yeah, just like how do you call it? Just like dream, just like Tour de France, whatnot. And then yeah, I just really believed to be part of Tour de France was the first time when Tekla Haymanot and Kudus they was part of their 2015, and then when he had the Pogacar jersey, when he arrived on the podium, like I really cried. I was like, how is possible to have an Eritrean rider on the podium? Yeah, and then from that one on, I just really like believe, okay, maybe one day I will be part of Tour de France. And yeah, that was really the best moment, I think, for the Eritrean cyclists, 2015. And then from that one on, it's just like everybody believing, like, okay, maybe one day we will be part of Tour de France. But before it was just like a kid dream, just like, oh, okay, Tour de France. Oh yeah, it's a big race, and yeah.
It is amazing. I remember watching the images back in 2015 I think it was when Daniel Tekla came back,
Yeah,
and the reception at the airport, all the fans. Clearly, the we know the Eritrean fans love
yeah,
the Tour de France, love cycling, don't they?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like Tour de France is like you can imagine, like there is no movies on the cinema. It's only Tour de France in the afternoon. It's like all the cinemas, the coffee bars, even like in every single house when you go inside is just watching Tour de France. It's like more than you can imagine. It's like a really huge fans of Tour de France in Eritrea, especially in Asmara. When I grow up, it's like really crazy about the Tour de France. So they are always asking me if the season starts. You go to Tour de France? I say yes. Ah, yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah, it's like really nice.
That's fantastic. So your first tour was last year. Can you just explain then what it was like going to the tour? And you were obviously you'd had some leading to the Tour de France last year. You won a stage of the Giro, Ghent-Wevelgem. You were a big rider. Your journey within the last couple of years has been amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
but just try and describe the feeling when you finally got to the tour. What was that like for you?
yeah, it was like the best moment in my life, to be honest. I really enjoyed. Just the one thing I learned is like Tour de France, it's really hard. Like
Yes.
really hard. Like yeah, just Tour de France, it's nice. And then like yeah, if you are watching the TV, especially when I was young, you see a lot of nature, a lot of green area, a lot of cities. And then I just thinking at that time back, like when I was young, maybe they enjoy the riders also a lot, to pass on the Champs-Élysées. But this is not like this. Like Tour de France is the hardest, like everything, like the pressure, the media, and the race himself. Yeah, it was like really nice experience to have it in your career, but it is also really hard and nice because it it have to be hard also because all the best riders in the world they are part of Tour de France, so that makes the race harder. But for me was last year like until I start the first race. Yeah, I just really like all the night. I say I'm really gonna be a part of Tour de France this year, and then yeah, and then when the first time when you have depart, yeah, it was just like especially on the how do you call it, on the neutral, I really
Yes.
enjoyed because we have like in Bilbao we have 12K. I really enjoyed like
Ah, it's tranquil like a
really
little cafe
enjoyed that
ride.
moment. Like yeah, I really enjoyed, and then especially when I arrive in Champs Elysees, I'm really happy, proud, because this is why I dream of, and then to be part of Tour de France and to achieve also some podium third place, Champs Elysees sixth place. Yeah, that's really amazing. It's an amazing journey so far.
And what about the Eritrean fans who travel to the Tour de France? Because there's a lot of them, a lot of
Yeah.
Colombian fans, a lot of fans from all over the world, of course. But the Eritrean fans follow you around, don't they? And wait. What is that like?
Yeah, that's nice. Sometimes it's always it's a big expectation from you because they are for sure they would like to have to watch you to win races. So, but in Tour de France, I already say also in the Eritrean Meta, I said the Tour de France is gonna be tough, tough one because yeah, it's gonna be the best sprinter in the world. They are there, the best teams, they are there, everything, and also first time Tour de France is always not easy. And this is what I said also. But yeah, I have also I would say big expectation for myself, a lot of pressure, but to see the fans, it's always nice. It's like I remember at the time back, Colombian when Esteban Chavez and also Uran is there
Yeah.
and Quintana. I'm always like how you say a bit shy, like these guys how they handle these things. But now in all the Eritrean fans came to support me. That was nice. Some the other hand, it's a bit pressure, but the other hand also it's always proud because yeah, even if you see the big champions from different from France or from Belgium, they don't have this kind of people, the flag with this. So it's always nice to have them this kind of culture. So I'm really happy and proud to, especially when I saw them after the race, it's always nice. It just make me relax or make me happy.
That's brilliant. And what do you hope? I mean, you're still a very young man. You're only 24.
Yeah,
I'm correct, 24
yeah.
years of age. Let's hope you have a long career ahead of you. But when you maybe look back on your career, what sort of legacy would you like to leave behind to inspire riders or young athletes in Eritrea? What do you hope to achieve?
Yeah, I think more or less, thanks God, is everything is successful for the moment because, like I said, for me, they inspire me a lot. Daniel Taklahaimanot, they show me I can do it,
Yeah.
or African rider can do it, especially Eritrean riders can do it. So also, yeah, I always want to win as much as I can because I want uh, to tell them it's possible. Everything is possible. If you believe, if you keep working hard, it doesn't matter the color. You can achieve if you are black or white. So yeah, this is that the only thing I need to tell them to show them we can do it. We can win races. Also, we can be a leader in different things. So we can climb, we can sprint, we can do also time trials. So the one thing that I only hope to win it's Tour de France because, like I said, it's Tour de France. It's like more than you can imagine. Even if there is no Eritrean rider, there is just watch all around Asmara, all around Eritrea. So especially if there is one rider from us, it's really represent them like so much. So yeah, I'm always searching to have victory in Tour de France to just show them we can do it, and then we can also win races in Tour de France. And yeah, the other thing is I'm always like to have African riders on the bunch. We need to make a global or international racing like the other sport like football or other things. And yeah, it's always nice to have more victory in your career, of course, especially in Tour de France. So yeah, I hope I can achieve this.
And right now, Benjamin, who inspires you now? Is there a rider or is there somebody in your life that inspires you right now?
Yeah, to be honest, I always say in different media like Sagan, it's one of the
Sagan.
best.
Okay.
Yeah, I like personally sprinter. Like when I grow up, I like more sprinter. Like in the time of Cavendish and yeah, no, a lot of big. But I just say the name now. It's like they really inspire me a lot, especially Cavendish, especially Sagan, how he celebrate me. Like I say, it's because when you eat, you like more show. Like if
Yeah.
the guys they do a lot of show and a lot of act and then you like this more. And then I don't know why also in Eritrea the green jersey is more famous. Like the
Really?
guy on green jersey, it's always more loved by the Eritrean people. So I don't know why. Like yellow and the green, it's more famous. But the Progadot and the other stuff, the white jersey, they don't care. And then yeah, so I think because of that, I am more inspired of Sagan generation.
Okay. And when you think about it, when you look at the sort of rider you are, you're very fast. You can climb okay. You can get over the hilly stages. Maybe one day the green jersey is something that you could wear, or go for. You have to think like this because of all the riders currently in the peloton today. For me, you would be one of the riders who I think could compete for the green jersey because of your consistency on the harder terrain as well.
Yeah, I think this is what I'm working for the future, to be honest. And yeah, because it's possible, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe one day, But in Tour de France, it's gonna be hard. But yeah, I'm still keep believing that. And yeah, first thing is first. I really searching for the victory first, and then after that, I still have plenty times. I hope for the future. But yeah, for the moment, I'm really searching for the victory because that's already quite not easy. Because a lot of professional riders, I have also different story. They never have the pro victory even. So if you have a Tour de France, it's always people if they ask you on the street, If you say
Yeah.
I'm professional riders, they just ask you, "Are you the Tour de France?" So
Yes.
that's always nice to have victory, but to have a green jersey, it's yeah, how I can say it's more than I can dream of. So yeah, but it's for the future for sure. I'm working on that, just to prepare myself to do it like I said, like hard finale, flat sprint, and yeah, just to try to improve myself to try to compete for the green jersey.
Okay. This is an interesting little question now. If ASO said to you, Benjamin, you can design your own stage. You can design the Benjamin Gramay Tour de
Yeah.
France stage. What would it look like? Where in France would it be, perhaps, the Benjamin Gramay Tour de France stage? What do you think that would look like?
Yeah, it's more or less like kind of the classic race I would like, and not flat for sure,
Yeah.
but I like to have it like kind of like a hard finale. The last part of the race can be like yesterday, up and down,
Yeah.
all heelys, and then you do a short heely and then down, and then you're gonna finish the race. This kind of race, more like I'm also more fast in this kind of race. I have more chance to win the race. So I can create like this on the south of France, maybe, I think.
What I think what you're saying, you'd like a stage like the Napoli stage in the Giro when you.
Like, that's kind of, yes.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, what is your preparation now, leading to the Tour de France? You're in good form. What is your last races before you head to the Tour?
So far, I already going better after my crash. I already did super preparation. To be honest, for Giro, I did everything perfect. Altitude camp, and everything was perfect. I was, yeah, in my best shape in before Giro, but yeah, I couldn't show my performance. The only chance I find is one sprint stage. I was third, and then after that was, yeah, there is no way to continue. But
Yeah,
that's why I want to use my form to continue racing. And then for the moment, it's still the same plan to approach Tour de France. I will do my last race on Sunday and Brussels Classic. That's also a nice race. And then after that, I will also go for altitude camp to prepare myself for the national champion. Also, I hope maybe I can have the jersey. That's gonna be nice.
nice. Yeah,
And yeah, but I will go now for Sunday is my last race, and then afterwards I fly straight home, and then I will do altitude camp, and that's gonna be my last race national champion before Tour de France.
okay. Well, what I want to wish you all the best. Hopefully, well, I will see you at the Tour de France. I'll be there doing the
Yeah,
interview. So hopefully we'll have another conversation at the tour. But good luck. I have one final question for you.
yeah.
Somebody that's watching this who's maybe in Africa, or somebody, or just a young child who wants to be inspired, what advice would you give them in relation to ultimately wanting to maybe turn professional? What advice would you give?
Yeah, especially to the African riders, I just want to give two advice. The first thing is trust yourself, keep working hard, and then it's number two. It's vitamin N. You know this, I think.
What vitamin N? Tell me.
It's never give up. So,
Okay. I like that. I like that. Vitamin N, never give up. That's
so
brilliant.
these two things in your mind, I think for sure one day they can find their dream. So that's also what I am doing still now. Just keeping working hard, believing in myself, and then also never give up, because for sure there is a lot of obstacle, a lot of bad thing or bad happen. But just if you keep believing, never give up, for sure one day you will reach your goal. So I just need to give them this advice: keep continue, keep riding, keep believing self, and then never give up again.
Fantastic. Benjamin, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thanks,
See
mate.
you at the Tour de France. All the very best.
Yeah, see you soon. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.